Hello YouTube, Mr. Gibson Guy here with a new video on my Ford Maverick. Well, this one is not specifically on my Ford Maverick, but it is on the Ford Maverick. If you've been watching my Maverick videos before, you know that I have done several of them about the order and the build time and the delivery date and price and all the things that I've gone through with it. And my experience has been very good with the Maverick. So far, I've had it for a couple months. I'm really pleased with it. It's a very nice truck. It's a little different than my old Ranger that I had, but it fills the bill very well, and we've been real happy with it. But today's video is about some other Mavericks and other cars as well. And well, on my videos I've gotten a lot of different comments about which Maverick I ordered, or why did I order this, why did I order that. And so I've gone through the specifics of mine. I got an XL, not an XLT, and I got the 2-liter EcoBoost engine, and I got front-wheel drive, not all-wheel drive. And I've had a number of people that have questioned me on that and kind of exhibited different feelings, saying, you know, why wouldn't you get something better? Why would you get that? And that kind of brings us to today's video. The biggest point was, why wouldn't you pick the superior drivetrain of the hybrid Maverick? Because I didn't get the hybrid. And I said, well, I didn't get the hybrid specifically because there's going to be a lot of trouble with the hybrid. And it's way too complicated a system, and things like that are not meant for it. Cars and trucks are meant to have gasoline engines. They're very heavy duty. They can really stand up to punishment, and you can do a lot of things and it will keep on going. Ford trucks are built to go for many, many years, and they do that. But when you start putting in a whole lot of electrical drive components, electrical stuff is not nearly as heavy duty as the components for a gas-powered engine or a diesel-powered engine. You start mixing in stuff that's a lot more frail and delicate and is not really designed to be treated that way. Electric vehicles haven't been around for very long, and they're trying to build them based on what they build for gasoline engines, but there's a lot of differences in electronic stuff, and it's not really developed at all to the level of being ready to be out there on the highways and byways for years and years and years. And you'll notice there's two optional things you can have on your Maverick. One option is to choose the hybrid engine, and another option is to get an all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive. But notice something: as much as those are popular, you can't get a hybrid and all-wheel drive. That's because at least the Ford engineers put their foot down and said, no. Electronic stuff, really chancy just on the road. If you start putting it in something that goes off-road, you are just asking for trouble, because electronic stuff is not going to hold up to the punishment of off-road mud and sand and grime and snow and everything that gets into every bit of your vehicle. The electric stuff is just not going to stand up to that at all. So that's why you never see an all-wheel drive hybrid Maverick, because they at least are honest enough to not try to put those two things together. I'm kind of rambling here, but I'm getting to, just as I had told people when they questioned me with getting the EcoBoost engine, Ford has now come out with recalls on all the hybrids. All the Maverick hybrids have been recalled, a whole bunch of other vehicles, and you may not have heard this because Ford hasn't announced it to the owners of these vehicles yet. And that's going to be really interesting when it happens. But this news has come out in a couple of different articles, and I want to go over this with you. 2 articles and then something else from YouTube that cover this, because this is, if you have a hybrid Maverick, you probably haven't heard this yet, and you're going to be very surprised. But this first article is by Robert Dufer, and this is from Car Connection. Okay. The new Ford Maverick hybrid pickup truck, as well as hybrid and plug-in hybrid versions of the Ford Escape and the Lincoln Corsair, are being recalled for an increased risk of engine failure that could lead to an engine fire, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration disclosed Monday. Ford didn't say it, they just got the word out. The recall concerns Ford's 2.5-liter 4 hybrid powertrain. Now, I'm doing 2 articles because they're not going to say exactly the same thing. They're going to be close, but listen carefully here to what's going on. The engine can fail, and the oil from the engine block or oil pan can leak into the engine compartment. Oil pan's underneath the engine compartment. I don't know how it's going to leak up. If fluids or vapors gather near a hot engine, or, most likely, exhaust components, they could ignite a fire. Now, these start out talking about engine fires, but it's actually automobile fires that are happening here. The recall affects 100,680 vehicles, including the 20 through 22 Ford Escape hybrid and plug-in hybrid, and the 21 to 22 Lincoln Corsair hybrid and plug-in hybrid, and the 2022 Ford Maverick. Ford estimates, here's the good news, that only 1% of the recall vehicle population is affected. Crossing our fingers. Yet it acknowledged 23 customer reports of under-hood fires globally. The reports cited engine smoke, melting under the hood, or engine fires. So, not just engine fires. There were no known crashes or injuries. Well, let's see. An engine failure will make loud noises such as metal on metal, Ford reported, and there will be a loss of engine torque. Smoke could appear from the engine area. There should be no mistaking if something is wrong. When it's wrong, you know it's wrong. If a driver experiences an engine failure, Ford advises them to safely park the car and shut off the engine as soon as possible. Yeah. Owners will be advised to take their vehicles into a Ford or Lincoln service center where technicians will drill extra holes in the shield under the engine, as well as modify the active grille shutters. The service will be completed at no cost to owner, who can expect to receive a notification by mail of the recall action as early as August 8th. Now, at the time of this video, we're at the end of July, but this is the earliest, will be August 8th. Reimbursement will be available for owners who paid to have their work done. You can call Ford's customer service. Now, on The Verge, we have another article. It's supposed to be reporting the same thing, but it's going to be a little different. Ford is recalling certain models of the 20 to 22 Escape, Maverick, and Corsair due to the risk of underhood fires. Engine fires are underhood fires. The recall affects over 100,000 vehicles in the U.S., all of which come with the 2.5 liter / plug-in hybrid HEV PHEV engine, which does not include the EcoBoost. In case of an engine fire, Ford told The Verge that engine oil and fuel vapor could flood ignition sources, causing a possible fire beneath the hood of the car. Ford plans on adjusting affected vehicles under engine shield and active grille shutter to allow for better airflow, and will start notifying owners of the recall on August 8th. According to CNBC, Ford has received 23 reports of the issue while engines are switched on, although no injuries have been recorded. Aside from this recall, Ford's expanding a previous recall of select 2021 Lincoln Navigator and Ford Expedition SUVs for risk of underhood fires. At the time, the recall affected only 39,000 vehicles, but an update from Ford expands this pool to 66,221 cars. So that's 66,000 on top of the 100,000. Built between July 27th, 2020 and August 31st, 2021. Now we get a little more detail here. The automaker traced the problem to a switch in manufacturers during the COVID-19 pandemic. That's part suppliers. And says the printed circuit boards from this supplier, quote, are uniquely susceptible to a high current short, unquote. Ford advises owners to park their cars outside and away from the structures, but says they can still drive the vehicle until you dare not to. But don't worry, just drive the vehicle. Probably won't do this. Only a 1% chance that it'll burn up. Park there. Okay. You can still drive the vehicle until the necessary replacement parts become available in September. And there's an addition. In June, look at this, we've had 100,000, we've had 66,000. In June, Ford recalled nearly 49,000 of its electric Mustang Mach-E vehicles due to battery safety issues, and put deliveries on hold until it found a fix. According to Inside EV, dealers now have access to a software update that fixes the issue, with Ford set to roll out an over-the-air update at a later date. They're not saying what the later date. We're prepared to roll out an update. We don't know when. So that's 160,000 and 49,000. So we're over 200,000 Ford electric vehicles here, all hybrids and plug-in electrics that we got to get off the road. What a surprise. Now, I found out about this because Rev Up Your Engines, I first heard this not through these press releases, but because Scotty Kilmer put it on his channel. And he's been covering this stuff all year, for a couple of years, on the problems with hybrids and how many electric vehicles are burning up that they're not talking about, and people are getting trapped inside. And because it's battery fires, they can't work the electric door locks or electric window winders, so they're just trapped inside with the fire to burn up with their electric vehicle. Talk about a nightmare. But I'll put a link in the article here, so on my video, so you can find out what's going on, or check with Scotty Kilmer on his channel. Okay, so that's how things are going right now with electric vehicles, that maybe we're not ready for prime time on. All right, well, I just wanted to keep you aware of that. My Maverick, which is not an AV at all, is running great, and I think it's going to run great for the rest of my life. So that's how things are. If you like the vehicle, if you like the video, give me a like, subscribe, and it was great to have you tune in to watch again. Till the next time, this is Mr. Gibson Guy out.